Hi coaches, this is Whitney from Get the Pancake. The drill that we're going to go over today is called Switch the Court, and this is going to help you work on covering your hitter and working on that block coverage. Let me just go ahead and play this for you. Don't worry, we'll get more into how to run the drill, why you're running the drill, some notes about how to make it work better. We'll get to that, but let me just show you what the drill looks like. Okay, so as you can see, there's a lot going on. Before we get into how to run the drill, let's talk about who this drill is for. Based on my experience, you would need to have a very advanced 8th grade team to run this drill, same with freshman teams, and then intermediate to advanced JV and varsity teams, mostly because it can get confusing, so you need teams that kind of know what's going on. That's why you need a higher skill level to run this drill. So that's talking about for school. Moving to the club side, I've ran this with teams that were 14 and under, and I've found the most success with more advanced 14 and under teams. But to be safe, I would say 15U and up. For the younger teams, I would say wait until the middle of the season or later. If you have an older team, maybe a JV or a varsity team, you can do this earlier in the season, but they do need to understand their positions and rotations and defense and everything. So if they don't know that, skip this drill. As far as equipment goes, this drill will run best if you have 3 ball carts and 2 boxes. If you don't have 3 ball carts for your team, I totally understand. 2 ball carts will still work. If you only have 1 ball cart, you're going to struggle a little to keep it moving. If you are one of those teams that doesn't have a ball cart, I would just recommend skipping this drill because it can get dangerous with balls rolling around the court. There's a lot going on. You need to have a way to contain the volleyballs. So 3 ball carts and then 2 boxes are preferred. If you don't have any boxes, that's okay. It will just be a little less game-like, but it's still going to work. All right, so let's talk about how we're setting up the drill. You can see those yellow boxes are the boxes, and then the gray boxes with the volleyballs are representing the ball carts. The C is coach, the X's are extra players, and then everyone else's position on the court is shown with outside hitter, middle front, right side, etc. I put front row players in blue and back row players in green just to make it a little easier. We are running this drill as if you have a back row setter, so this is great for teams running a 6-2. Now they are in their base positions to start the drill. If you do not understand what base positions are, I'm going to include a link to another video that describes base and positions on the court. Learn that first. If you're not sure what base is, this drill is going to be too advanced for you. So come back next season or at the end of the season and check out this drill later. The coach is in the middle of the court on the side opposite of your lineup. And then you notice we have the 2 tossers who are on boxes. Each of them needs to have a ball in their hands at all times. This is a really quick drill. And if they don't have a ball, they ruin it for everybody. For that reason, there is also a shagger who is assigned to each of these tossers. So there are at least 2 total shaggers. If you have extra players, then they can help shag and make sure the balls do not roll onto the side of the court where the play is happening. We just make sure, again, that those tossers have a ball in their hands at all times. So we're about to watch the drill one more time. Here's how we're going to run it. We're going to start with a free ball from the coach. As we pass that up to the setter, the set is going to either go to outside or right side. As an example, let's say that we're going to outside first. As soon as the setter is releasing that set to go to outside, everyone on the court needs to cover. Everyone is taking 1 or 2 steps towards the hitter. And then your tosser who is up on a box in front of that hitter is going to simulate a block by tossing the ball over as we're covering the hitter, being ready for that block to come back over, and setting to the other hitter. We're calling it switch the court because we're switching where the play is occurring. If the first attack came from outside, the second attack is going to come from right side. Since that set is going back, now everyone has to cover the new hitter. As soon as contact is made and that ball goes over, our tosser in front of our right side hitter is going to simulate the next block and toss the ball over. Of course, everyone is covering the right side as they are hitting, and they're going to pop the ball up. And since we're switching the court, the next set goes to outside. I know this sounds confusing and it may confuse your players at first, but essentially all we're doing is setting outside, setting right side, setting outside, setting right side, and going back and forth until we reach a goal of some sort, and then we'll switch front row and back row to let our tossers and subs come in, and then they get their turn running the drill. As far as goals go, you could have it be a certain number of switches, or you could just go for time. I'll talk about that a little later. Let's go ahead and watch the drill again. It looks confusing, it will feel confusing, but once your team goes through maybe a minute or two of attempts at meeting their goal, then it will click. Then they will understand. Okay, to summarize, our main focus here is just on covering the hitters. That's what we're working on. That's the whole point of this drill, is working on our block coverage. Also, our setters are working on mixing up their set every single set. So just wherever they set to, it's the opposite next time. That's all they need to keep in mind. Ideally, your team will be helping them out by yelling outside, outside, right side, right side. This is a great drill for communication, and it really is a team effort to finish this drill. And finally, this drill is all about learning to play through the struggle. I think I've mentioned it a few times throughout this video, but this is a challenging drill. And although there is a learning curve and it takes a while to get the hang of it, I think it is important mentally for players to face a struggle in practice and learn how to deal with it. There are plenty of times when your team will be challenged in a match, and you don't want them to be facing that struggle for the first time in a match. So you want to challenge them at practice. You want them to learn how to play through hard things, how to come together and support each other. They'll realize that just yelling at each other isn't going to be beneficial and it's not going to help. They'll understand that everybody plays a role. The shaggers and tossers are just as important to the success of this drill. Everybody is important in this drill. If you have any questions, please just let me know. I, of course, love answering questions and helping you understand my drills better and helping you find ways to maybe cater them to your team. For more volleyball drills, you can go to getthepancake.com. There are tons of free volleyball drills there, as well as articles on coaching philosophy and strength and conditioning. There are also coaching tools like goal setting worksheets, information on how to run social media for your volleyball program. There's tryout sheets. There's just a bunch of tools there for you to use. And then, of course, there is the Get the Pancake podcast. If you are into podcasts, I suggest you search for Get the Pancake or just type in volleyball podcast and you'll find it there. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope to have you back. Be sure to subscribe and check out the other videos on the Get the Pancake YouTube channel.